Right then guys, how's it going, and welcome back to Toon Tuesdays, your weekly roundup of Newcastle United news. Hope you guys are all doing good. No doubt still on a little bit of a high since the win against Leeds at the weekend. 1-0 win, massive 3 points. I'll be totally honest and say that going into that game, I was really worried about how Eddie Howe was going to put the team out. Because at the end of the day, I thought Leeds would outrun us, out-pressure us, outperform us, but we totally matched them. I mean, we rode our luck at times, but then again, so did they. We could have had more than one. St. Max should have had a penalty, so to come out with 3 points was massive. And that leads us into a winter break, followed by an FA Cup weekend, which we aren't in anymore. So we have over 2 weeks until our next game, which is Everton at home on the Tuesday night, which means our full attention now is on the January transfer window. We have less than a week until the end of the window, and I am confident that we will make some signings before the end of the window, but ideally, if we could have maybe one done in the next 48 hours, that would really cool my nerves, because, as I say, as exciting as it is that we are still being linked, there's clearly work going on in the background. The owners are definitely doing their best to try and get some of these deals through. It has not proven to be particularly easy. Matty from the Magpie channel spoke about Newcastle tax, which I cannot disagree with them, because if you look at, the Botman deal, they said that they want 30 million. We offered 30 million. They went, well, we want 35 now. Unfortunately, one player that we are still ongoing talks with is Diego Carlos. Again, they wanted 30 million. We offered 30 million. As of last night, I'm hearing that we could well have offered up to 55 million. And still, despite the player asking to leave, despite the player putting in a transfer request, and despite us matching every price they want, it still hasn't gone through. And I am starting to seriously question whether that one will go through or not. It's literally, I spoke about this last week, that one, like many of our deals, is on a knife edge. It's on a knife edge. It could quite easily swing either way. Either if we match it and they give it, then we'll take it. If we offer it and they decline it, we should walk away, because again, 1 week to go. We cannot continue this saga with any player for very long. Permanent deal wise, I mean, Tarkowski's getting spoken about again. I'm assuming that's because we are looking for any centre back right now. Obviously the Gosens one I really liked, but it looks like he could be going into Milan, and then that takes us on to some of the loan links as well. The main one, Jesse Lingard. Now I understand that the Jesse Lingard one could well be done in the next 24 to 48 hours, which would be amazing, to be honest. I've spoken about Jesse Lingard a few times, and I think the big issue we've had with them, his contract ends in 6 months. He wants in 6 months' time to go wherever he wants. He wants to just get a bumper contract in a team that are going to pay him probably more than he should be on, because he's on a free. So he wants the loan here. He wants to come here, play football, keep his place in the England squad. But he doesn't want to sign, because he wants to leave in 6 months on a free. He might stay at Newcastle. He might come here for 6 months. If we stay up, then he might sign on, but he doesn't want to risk that. The problem is Manchester United want to sell him. They don't want him going on loan. They want the money now before he walks on a free. So I think we would probably do either. We would go permanent or loan. The problem is Manchester United wants permanent. Jesse Lingard wants loan. And from what I understand, we are trying to now meet them in the middle, take Jesse Lingard on loan, because that keeps him happy, but actually pay Manchester United £10 million. So pretty much what we would have paid if he came on a permanent, to keep them happy. So we're keeping them happy with the money, we're keeping him happy with the loan, which means we are paying £10 million for a Jesse Lingard loan, which seems pretty crazy, doesn't it? I mean, that is a lot of money for a loan move. But I will say, he is going to improve us tremendously. I think, again, we spoke about, you know, the Leeds game, matching them head to head. You know, we actually did really well in that game, but something we've struggled with so much is creating something. You know, getting the ball from defence to attack. You know, speeding up that process, and he will do that. And if Jesse Lingard comes in and we stay in the Premier League, it was £10 million worth spent. You know what I mean? Other loan deals we are linked with are Dele Alli. Now, that one I think pretty much came around because we were getting sick of the Jesse Lingard conversation, but now it looks like we could well get both. And Spurs are open to letting him go on a loan, unlike, you know, the issues with the conversations with Manchester United. I think Spurs are very happy for him to go, so I'm hoping that one gets done. And the other move that's being spoken about now, which I spoke about right at the start of the window, is Aaron Ramsey. Again, he box-to-box midfielder. He's the kind of player we need. He's the kind of player who can pick it up from deep and move the ball quickly. The biggest problem with him is the £400,000 wages. Apparently, he's already had conversations with both Burnley and Crystal Palace, but negotiations have broken down. Is that because Crystal Palace want to pay just 100 grand of his 400 grand wages and Juventus aren't happy about that? Could well be. Would Newcastle be willing to pay a bit more than that? Maybe. But again, I think the Ramsey one for me is, I think if we are able to get Lingard and Ali in, I don't think we'll go for Ramsey. I think we go for Ramsey if we are 48 hours left and we still haven't got a transfer, you know? It's the kind of one that if we really need to overpay just to bring someone in, I can see it happening. Again, you know, more links. Zapata, again, that one would be incredible from what I understand. I think it's an initial fee followed up with an obligation to buy. I mean, again, I should have brought my list out with a player list on, because there's so many. I've no doubt the one that I forget to mention in this video will probably be the one we'll go and get. Something that I don't think I've even mentioned yet is the fact that we are currently over in Saudi Arabia for some hot weather training. It did worry me slightly that we've chosen the last week of the window to go and do some training in a different country. But from what I understand is that Eddie Howe hasn't had a huge... well, I think he will have... Well, knowing Eddie Howe, the man who basically knows what he wants and does it a certain way, I'll be very surprised if it was his idea to go out to Saudi Arabia. But I understand that it's Murdad who's had the biggest... involvement in the transfers, and he has stayed behind. And we've also gone and hired Eddie Howe's cousin, nephew, brother. We've hired Andy Howe, who apparently is part of the recruitment team. So that kind of links in with him going away, bringing someone else in to help while we're away. I mean, a lot of people are talking about, is the Saudi trip to line up with a new signing that we can announce while we're out there? Maybe. I mean, it would be good if we could. I think it's more along the lines of going out there and announcing a new sponsor or something like that. Or really just doing PR and just being out there and kind of letting people know who we are. I think to announce a player while we're out there is going to be tough, because we play on Friday and come back on Saturday. What is it, like an 8-hour flight? Unless we're going to sign them tomorrow and send them straight out tomorrow night, they'll have one day there to get announced. Then they're coming back again. So unless we literally sign someone today, I think we're going to struggle to reveal them out there. We could still make the signing in this country and then announce it while we're out there. But I think really if we'd gone out there to announce a player, I think we would probably know who it is already, and we don't. But yeah, as I say, less than 1 week to go. A lot of players linked. My Twitter is literally flashing up continuously as I'm doing this video with more and more names and links. But let me know your thoughts down below on the window. Would you be happy with just Trippier and Wood? No, I think it's got to be at least one more. I think a centre-back for me is #1 priority still. And then I think centre-mid is #2. But let me know your thoughts down below on the window so far, who you hope to get in the next 6 days, and how many players do you think we will get. As I say, some of these players are looking like they could be really close. Dele Alli, Jesse Lingard both look good. I still think the Carlos one is on a knife edge, but the question is, how many more days do we pursue this before we go and get our second or third choice or fourth choice, you know? But anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. As always, hope you've enjoyed, and I'll catch you later.